Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's the morning dew for certified doers just like you. I'm Jackie Glass, mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 93rd District. Honored to serve. Where, I just want to repeat this because I think sometimes foundationally we have to remind folk what our mission is. What our mission is here, and I want to shout out my team for being thoughtful and methodical about really determining what our mission is. Our mission is to is we envision a commonwealth where no matter whether you are a come here, a from here, or passing through here, that you feel empowered to improve, blank in my mind, that you feel safe, supported, and empowered to improve your quality of life. Our mission is to ensure that we educate, advocate, celebrate, and legislate from a place of truth and love while improving quality of life. That's for you and for me. Um, so I want to again express gratitude for y'all being here this morning. Let me tell you, oh, good morning, Mr. Little. Good morning, Anton. So good to see you, Shao Trendsetter, and Kevin Newby. So glad to have you all here. If you got a question, if you got comments, if you got things, go ahead and drop them in the chat. What I want to do first is roll through all the things we have going on. Some of y'all already know, so I just want to make sure we're good with that, and then talk about what we got going on this week, what's going to happen next week, how it'll be a little bit different for me next week. I'm going to verify the date. I don't know that I will be going live. I may be on the road. As a matter of fact, let me get that right for y'all so we know about next week. Next week on the 18th, I'll be going back to Richmond. I'll talk a little bit about that, why we're doing that, and then move forward from there. So coming up in the near future, today we're going to go back to having our this or that Thursdays, and that's where you can go on our Instagram, our Facebook, our all the places, and choose this or that through some very difficult problems. Today, the this or that is about childcare. Would you travel an extra hour out of the way to get childcare, um, or would you pay an extra $400 a month to have a childcare that's closer? I pose that question because on next week, Tuesday, July 16th, we'll have our second of 5 live roundtables on childcare, right? So we did one on social media and youth. I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all missed that, you need to go back and watch it. I've actually sent it to some of my colleagues to look at because it was just that good. I actually think we need to do it again because the young folks were like, preaching. This young lady was like, I've been using social media since I was in the 3rd grade. She just graduated high school. I was like, wow, like, it's been around that long, and they have some very good takes on that. So, but Tuesday we're doing childcare. We'll have people in the childcare industry, people in the business industry. We'll have people affected by what's happening with childcare right now. So it'll just be a live roundtable. And the goal of these live roundtables is to walk our way towards policy, walk our way towards legislation, whatever that looks like, so that we can have a little bit more robust conversations with so that I really selfishly is I do not like to walk in the room saying that I haven't heard from anybody in my community or had the conversations about specific issues. So Tuesday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., an hour long, and it's going to be every third Tuesday, or every second or every third Tuesday until we get into session. That's that July 27th. Mark your calendars. We are having a summer school for certified doers. So if y'all know, this is that where we're going to break everything down for you. We're going to demystify the process, let you ask all your questions. That's going to start at 10 a.m. And then at 2 p.m., we're going to have a pitch contest. So the location is TBD because we sort of had some fumbles with it, but it's still going to be on the 27th. I want y'all to have that date locked in. If you've got legislation that you want to pitch to myself or to other legislators, do you hear me? To myself or to other legislators, this is your opportunity, right? If you want to build something, then this is your opportunity to come kick it with us. We'll help you build what you're going to build, right? Because part of a summer school for certified doers is preparing you to build that idea or to advocate better for that idea so that you can push forward. So that is July 27th. I'm hoping that I'll see you there. Lastly, on August 10th, we're going to have a field day for certified doers at Northside Park. I believe we said our start time is going to be a bit early too, like 10 to 1 sort of situation. We'll be giving out the state level commending resolutions to folks, doing all the things. If you got kids that do field day at school, all them things, potato sack races, there'll be food, there'll be opportunity to connect with other doers. If you have never been to an event that this office has put on, and I hate to call them events, I like to call them gatherings, you will walk out with someone that is in line or moving towards where you're moving towards. We are dot connectors. So like if you're feeling lonely in the hustle, lonely in the struggle, whatever that is, you got to start coming to one of our events so you can like connect the dots. It is a beautiful thing to see because I've seen people level up in some amazing ways just from coming to the gatherings that we curate to help you build and grow. Sound good? So I'm gonna see you next Tuesday, the 27th. I might see you. Tell your friends, whoever, and for Certified Doers Summer School. I hope that you decide to join us on this pitch contest, and then August 10th, our Certified Doer Field Day at Northside Park at 10 o'clock. Cool. We got that out the way. Remember, this is your time again. So if you got questions, comments, it doesn't matter what it's about. It ain't got to be what I'm talking about. Put in the comments. If you got an event that is coming up at 25 after the hour, I'll roll through the chat and tell the folks all the things that happen in the community. So drop them in the comments. But this is your time to ask and do and say all the things. Let me start here. The day before yesterday, there was a executive order from the governor that was put out about cell phones in schools. Ooh. Now I'm gonna ask this: if anybody here on the Morning Dew already grew up with cell phones in schools, or like that was before my time, or you have children and there's a cell phone uses policy at their school or whatever. So essentially, I'm going to pull up the executive order so you all can see. But I want you all to be able to see and be a part of these sorts of things. So hold on. This is executive order. So I'm asking in the chat for you all to just do you have kids in school or nieces and nephews? And what is the cell phone policy at their school? Thumbs up, I guess, if you're a quick one. Thumbs up if they have cell phone policy at school, like where they can use it or not. For the record, because I actually had someone in our sphere ask, what happens with an executive order versus legislation? So it's a common document you'll hear when you hear about presidents, but also for governors because they're an executive. It's a document that when it's signed and written, it's a published directive from the president or from the governor that manages the operations of the state. And so they're typically numbered consecutively, but they're made for different purposes, for many different purposes. So it's just either for formality, or issue, but lots of different purposes. So it's really just a directive. It's the governor saying, here's what I want to see happen. Now I'm going to the executive order, and I'm going to hopefully, let me see if I can get my screen share with you all. And I see some folks saying some things, and we'll get to that in just one second. I just want to make sure that I share this with you so you can find it. So it's important to know that there are times when executive orders are challenged by people on the outside, whether they believe that it's within a president or a governor's right or powers to be able to do certain things. But this one came out again yesterday. I keep saying yesterday, on Tuesday, and I actually had a really good conversation with my little citizen about what her thoughts were about the cell phone policy. So on my screen here, you'll see I went to governor.virginia.gov, and under executive actions, you can see all of the executive orders. What it lets you know here is that thus far, our present governor has issued 33 executive orders. And so let's view this document. And so this is the one that we want to talk about today. And I love your feedback because I think that it's mixed in the community. I don't think it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I think that it's going to take some getting to. So Executive Order 33 establishes a cell phone free education to promote health and safety of Virginia K-12 students. Now, number one, executive order is, this is not a law. Okay, this is not a law. It is, again, the governor outlining, all right, here's the initiative, here's what we're trying to do. If I'm scrolling too fast for you, let me know. Well, it's not training. Is it changing on your screens? Oh, that's why. Here, let me see if I can shift. Let me stop sharing and then share the other screen for you, because I realized once I clicked on it, it wasn't sharing the actual order. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see if I can pull it out and get it for you. There it is. It's a PDF. So here we go. All right. So it popped out as a PDF here for you all. So it essentially is saying, all right, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's what I'm trying to do. Doesn't matter what the governor's background is. These typically start the same way. And it says, like, children spend 4.8 hours on social media. This is about the health stuff. But here's the directive. Here's the important part for you all. So what the executive order is asking for is for the Secretary of Education, for Health and Human Services, the Superintendent of Public Schools, the Department of Education, and the State Health Commissioner to have listening sessions with stakeholders to solicit input on the age-appropriate cell phone free education policies, to gather background on best practices, to establish what it incorporates with feedback from folks, to publish some model implementation plans for these environments. Like, all right, are we going to put them in lockers? Are we going to put them in pouches? Like, what have been some best practice other places in doing this, to address the guidance? And you see it goes on and on and on, right? To address, where I'm just going to go through, to publish the guidelines, to address the guidance process with parents and communicate for children for typical reasons. If, items are forgotten, pick up, because that's something we hear, like, if my kid forgot something, how I'm supposed to get, and protocols for communication, to issue some final guidance for stakeholders. Now, all of this has to happen by September 16th. And if you're like me, I believe my little citizen goes back to school August 18th or 16th, somewhere around that. So mid-school year, within the first month of school, there should be some, from school systems for school, some guidance for school systems to adopt. And those things have to be adopted by January. And you'll see I'm here at number set right here. I'm going to highlight, if it'll let me highlight it, it won't. But I'm at number 6, where these things are to be adopted by January 1st, 2025. Establish a reporting system and coordinate with the Department of Health to sort of promote healthy social media phone uses to youth and teachers and medical professionals, right? That's what the executive order is. And again, I'm going to say it again. It's Executive Order 33 for you all's, for your knowledge. I lost myself. There it is. Okay. I lost my other self. Yeah. So, I'm seeing some very interesting comments I want to go through. Carrie says, good morning, Carrie. MPAs had adequate Wi-Fi. Kids wouldn't need to use their phone. If MPS had adequate Wi-Fi, kids wouldn't need to use your phone. So that's one reason, right? I do remember my oldest citizen saying to me, I use my phone in the classroom sometimes because the school laptop blocks websites that are actually used for educational things. And so sometimes we have to use our phones in order to get to sites that we need to get to. So, and you're right, making sure we have adequate websites. I mean, adequate Wi-Fi is a huge deal. One and only Misha says, as an educator, I'm all in for the ban. And Kevin and Nuvia on Instagram seconds that, like peace, rainbows, watermelon, heart, like all of that. And then Carrie says, how does it differ from model policies? So one thing is, you heard me say the word model policy. It is a model policy is just almost like, hey, here's my suggestion. Here's what I think it should kind of look like. And I'm asking you to emulate this in some way, shape, or form. So it is just almost like a template, right? The model policy essentially, and because I don't want to misspeak, that's the way we were doing some model policies with policing. Wait, let me make sure I'm, so, Control C. Sorry, I'm doing my homework while we sit here, because I definitely do want to, don't want to, the model policy essentially is, what is a model policy? Okay, model policy is a policy that takes, yes, same thing what I said. I just want to make sure that I was defining that correctly and not misspeaking. You said I'm asking, how is it different from, I'm asking regarding the trans policy, right? So that it is a policy that it's the same thing. They put out what they thought the suggested or the model policy and asked school systems to develop their own based off what their policy was. Does that make sense? I hope that's making sense. Another thing that I heard, I had my littlest citizen who is a rising 8th grader. She actually was like, we already have a cell phone ban policy in our school. And I remember a year or two ago when they did get that cell phone ban within their school, and the principal put it out. And I remember there was a little bit of backlash. The principal stuck to what she said, because I think the first thing that happens in our minds, which is very real, not the first thing for some parents and guardians, the first thing that comes to mind is, hey, what happens if there's a school shooter, and the last time, for the worst case scenario, the last time that I'm ever going to hear my child say, I love you, or tell me what's going on, they don't have their cell phone with them, or, my child has a disability, and if there's something happening, I want to be able to know right then and there. This is indicative of, to me, and this is Jackie's, this is my feedback. It can be trash, it can be treasure, but even that mindset is indicative of the fact that we don't consider school environments safe places for our children. And that's also something that I think we have to be working towards, because my mind immediately went to, like, what if I need to get a hold of you? What if is there a need for me to have access? If I felt like my child was in a safe, supportive environment, is there a need for me to have access to them while they're under instruction? I don't think so. I'm just one parent. I don't necessarily think so, but I also think that there is a level of comfort of knowing that I have access to my little citizens if the need be, and that if they felt unsafe, or if there was it ain't about needs, because I'm gonna tell you something, if they forget something, that's on them. That I'm gonna ask, did you get up early enough to make sure you had it? I'm just that parent that they will miss out. My daughter actually couldn't go on a field trip because she didn't do what she needed to do, and that's real. Like, we all choose to do those different ways, but I do think that there's a level of safety concern and access to our children that's there. And I'd love to hear you all's thoughts on it. But the policy, so we're going to be expecting for the Department of Education, Health and Human Services, the superintendent of schools, to be coming to us and saying, coming to not us, but school districts on August, what was that date? I think it was mid-August. September, right? By September 16th, I think it was, to start to say, hey, here's what we need to be doing. Here's what we think. Here's what we suggest based off of us hearing feedback. What is really important though, like for you all certified doers, right? What's really super important is that when that day does come, when they start taking public impact, not only do you have the ability to give feedback at your local level, you can give feedback to the state level departments of education and so on and so forth. There is a link, there's a place called, and I'm going to go to it while I'm sitting here, public, where you can make public comment on policies and issues. And like a lot of people don't know, they think these things just happen. We need to, if you've got feelings for policy, you can make public comment. And I'm going to the site, just like you can show up to comment. Here it is, public. It's called Virginia Regulatory Town Hall. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so you can see the website. Right. And so here it's at townhall.virginia.gov. Anytime the state is asking for public feedback, public comment, and my computer is about to die. So let me grab something. My apologies. So anytime that the state is looking for feedback or looking for comments on public policy, it's right here. So right now, if you're looking, there's 25 active forums, one on barbering and cosmetology, where they're viewing comments on taking and receiving comments on fast trackings, temporary license, amendments to the instructor training. There's one here on medical assistance services, pharmacy and governing practice. This is how you're able to sort of put your input. And if you look at most of these, it says 0 across the board. 0, no comments, because I'm looking right here, right? I'm looking right here and it says there are no comments. So even on access to management regulations, secondary street acceptance. Oh, here's one that I think, manufactured housing licenses and transaction recovery fund. There, we typically don't see a lot of comments, right, until it's a hot topic. And so as doers, we kind of have to be on the know on some of this stuff. So I'm going to write this, I'm going to put this in the chat on both sides, because I think it's important for all of us to kind of understand and know. Let me stop sharing that. I think it's important for all of us to kind of know where we can go to provide our input, because everybody can't get to Richmond. Everybody can't get up to the Capitol and make their comments and do things like that. So it's really important that we have a greater understanding here. So I see the question here is, Sunshine Lady, is that for every state? I do not know. I do not know that every state has a town hall system where people can come and interact with policy in that way. I am only familiar with Virginia. And I even say that as a person prior military, this is the first place and space that I've been able to really dig into being present as a neighbor, as a voter, and so on and so forth there. She says, I'm American. Oh, you're a Maryland state delegate. Oh, thank you for coming. I was so proud to see Virginia up front on the town hall floor. Yeah. We be trying. We be trying over here. That's right. Were we on the town hall together? I think, Sunshine Lady, I think we were on that together. But yes, so that is how and what I need from us, right? To not only know this information, a good certified doer believes that power is not pie. There's enough for everybody. And that when we each do our thing from a place of truth and love for our particular communities, and we share how to show up, that we need more people showing up. And that's how we sort of trickle out change, right? We just trickle it out. But I'm looking in the comments to see if you all have any more comments about the cell phone policy, or if you have any events or things going on, because in the next minute or so, I want to be tapping in and telling y'all all the good things that are happening, or just telling you the places and things that we've done thus far to connect you to some other dots. Anything? I suspect will be in the news. If it hasn't already been in the news cycle, it will be soon. The thing is, I don't know. I know we keep using the word ban, and I think that's probably one of the things that is triggering to many, not Virginians, but just Americans, period. The word ban means that we're just taking something away, and I hope that this process gets the voices of many. If I'm being quite honest, typically it's the voice of privileged folks like myself who have the time and energy and privilege of staying abreast of all the things that are showing up. But I want you all to be participatory in some of the things, more participatory in some of the things that we have going on in the Commonwealth. So you can take ownership or take real committed advocacy for or against the things that you want to see in our backyard. That is that. So I'm looking to see. Hello, Miss Charlene. It's good to see you. Good morning. I'm looking. Okay. So there was that today. Yes, I feel very strongly about being in a place where we are taking care of those among us who may not necessarily be able, who cannot vote. This is one of those things. There is not a wrong time to show up for our kids. At least that's what someone told me when I had to make the decision as to whether to speak out on something regarding our schools. They said there's no wrong time to show up for the little citizens. And I assure you, not I'm not the person that you're going to see saying, education is number one on my agenda and things like that. I'm going to show you. And I'm going to tell you that I have children in the system still, and my little citizens are aging out, y'all. So where my heart is the next generation, or the kindergartner that's starting, the parent that's just getting in the process, making sure that we're doing right by them within our educational system. And again, one of my citizens graduated. One is on the twilight portion of her career in public education. And it's really, if you don't have children, then we kind of owe it. I view it like veterans too. We owe it to those who are going to be interfacing and don't have the necessary time, place, and space to show up and to listen and to be good advocates. Miss Charlene says, I would like to talk with you about that law they're implementing in Maryland called the ERIC ID law. Ooh, what's great is Miss Sunshine Lady over here is a Maryland state delegate. I'd love to hear more about what that is. I wish I could have you in. So ERIC ID law, let's see, we can set up a time to connect people with invisible disabilities. Oh, please. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Holler at me about it. Right. About Eric Carpenter. So, wow, I didn't know anything about this. Thank you for sharing, Miss Charlene. You are one of the best doers I know. So Eric Law led to coming up with the idea to create 3 logos for people with invisible disabilities like autism, mental health concerns, and hearing impairment on their licenses. Let me go ahead and share that. Yes, this is what I'm looking at. Just looked up the law. Sure, let's do it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, and I hope you can reach out to my office if to set up a time or whatever that looks like, because I know that I'm on the go. This week I'm trash this week, y'all. meaning I'm in the streets this week. Next week there may be some opportunity, but please do not hesitate to connect out. But yes. And then Miss Charlene, for the good of the order, for I knock off here, I support no cell phones in schools, and my teacher friends are getting out because of the lack of respect and authority, and they complain about cell phone policies. All right. Now that's real. So I told you, I was like, I was listening to some people talk, immediately taking outrage. And I was like, I don't know about that outrage right now. If you got a young person in school, I see it both ways. And if you talk to educators, I see it both ways. I understand the fear, but I think we need to address where that comes from. The safety in our schools, right? Like, I think that is a real thing that we have to, um, uh, we really have to get to a place where we believe our kids are safe at school. And that is the underlying, like, that's a real, dang, it's a real, I, my mother didn't have to necessarily go through this. And I'm glad that she didn't. Uh, just not feeling like your kid is safe anywhere, anywhere. That's real. But yes, we can make contact about the Eric's Law. I'm with you. I plan on doing a lot of listening about this executive order. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just make sure, for the good of the order, that I put Executive Order 33 in the chat for everyone. That's what we talked about today, that there be some model policies here for, hold on, and I got to type it again, y'all. Executive Order 33. If you all don't have anything, I'm got to get myself together, get this whole face and space together. I'm going to remind you that we have the town hall on this next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. I really hope, if you got a person that's dealing with childcare, you feel strongly about childcare, that you go ahead and tell them they need to join us Tuesday night for a good hour for a really good, robust conversation about childcare. And then at the 27th, July 27th, we have the town hall, excuse me, not the town hall, the Certified Doers, Summer School for Certified Doers. You are all welcome. It is a process of learning the system. We're going to demystify. You're going to ask all the questions. And then at 2 o'clock on the 27th, we're also going to do the legislative pitch contest. So if you've got an idea that you want to pitch, that you got a piece of legislation that you're like, look, I just want to pitch it. We're inviting other legislators to come out, and you can pitch your legislation to them on the spot. Okay, get yourself a patron. Get yourself a patron. Okay. And then August 10th, please join us for field day for certified doers. We just want to have a good time with you. We want to connect you with other people, and then we want to celebrate, because you all remember the pillars of this office are to educate, advocate, celebrate, legislate. We do not do that last piece without doing those first three extremely well. All right. Last comment, and then I'm out the door. Miss Shar, you said, yes, it's a problem for parents who are concerned about safety issues, but does an elementary child need a cell phone in school? I am with you. I am with you. I receive that sentiment and then be like, yo, Sandy Hook. So like, that's why I'm saying, like, we have to cut through the fear, and get back to a place where we trust that within our schools that they are doing everything. They are doing what they need to do to take care of our kids, that if there's issues, there's protocol, there's things. Can they account for all the things and all the possibilities? No, nor can we, right? Nor can we as parents or as stakeholders. We can't count for, but we can create an environment. But I'm with you. If you haven't, Miss Charlene, or I don't know if you saw it, but our last live roundtable with the young people on social media, the young lady, and I keep saying this because it fries my mind. She said that she has been on social media since the third grade, and she was graduating high school. And she says she doesn't think that she should have had access to some of the things that she has access to. And she wouldn't want that for her kids if she ever, like, they just don't think that moving forward, we're doing the right things by our little citizens. And they were awesome. I'm so glad you said that. They were awesome. Y'all, we gotta listen to these kids, because I'm taking on some of their practices of how to do this, being a good adult better, right? My goal is to be a better older citizen to our younger citizens. And I know what it looks like and feels like to be dismissed, to not be heard, to feel like they don't think that you're old enough to even form an opinion. Like I know that feeling. And even as a grown woman right now, like even as a grown woman right now, I still deal with people that dismiss my lived experience. So that's weird and not okay. And I want to be a better adult. Good morning, Miss Renee. I appreciate you. Blessings to you and all that you do. Lastly, um, one and only Misha. What did I freeze? Uh, is all of this on your website? By this, you got to help me out. Uh-oh. Did I lose signal? I'm just making sure I'm still present. Okay. Um, let me see. I might have to move to another space because I'm to the next room and see if there it is. There it is. There it is. I'm turn on the light so I can get up out of here. I'm gonna turn on the lights so I can get up out of here. So you said, is this all on my website right now? No, the executive order isn't on my website, but you can go to governor.virginia.gov and you'll be able to go to the executive actions and you can see the executive orders. The town halls are on social. It's even on my YouTube page. So if you go to my YouTube, the town hall or on Facebook or any of those other places. But if there's something in particular that you're looking for, only one, Misha, please don't hesitate to message me or the office so we can make sure we guide you into the direction. I don't want to leave you hanging. Sound good? Sound great? Great. My hope is that I catch you on these streets or not, or I catch you next Thursday where we do the things we do because doers get more done. And thank you, Home Depot. Let me shout out that's Home Depot's tagline, but I know it's true. And I couldn't do it without you. So I will see y'all on the flip side. You will. Whoa. Hold on. I'm sorry. Say that again. If it's citizen. Oh, thank you. Good morning. Events. Oh, the events. Okay, got it. Um, the events are on the website. Events are actually on the. If you go, they should be pinned to the top of my Insta, and then I'm gonna make a full graphic of them. I'll do that today. Yeah, I'll do that today. Okay. I'll definitely do that today and make sure that that happens with the team. And I know somebody on here gonna hold me accountable. Just make sure we have all of them listed out so that you have them. Yeah, that is me. I'll just tell y'all like I'm juggling some things. So we're trying to make all the things juggling. Maybe. All right. Cool. I will make sure that happens to me. And I'll tell you as well. Okay. All right. Nothing else. Gratitude. Until next time, I'm Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer, and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates 93rd District. Um, always here for the ABC accountability, boldness, and coalition building. See ya.